What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today I will be reading another creepypasta. It's called Stairs. Do remember that the author will be in the description below, so make sure you go and check them out. Other than that, let's begin. His eyes opened to the sound of Alice's bedroom door squealing open. Sleep tugged at him, but his parental senses demanded that he get her back into bed. He heard her bare feet slap on the naked floorboards as he rolled out of the warm envelopment of his blankets. He clumsily put on his slippers and stumbled out into the living room. At the apartment, she had always slept fine, even when she had been a baby. It was only since they moved to this house that she had started acting strangely in the night. Getting up, wandering the house, talking to her friend. The kid seemed a bit old to invent an imaginary friend, but it was an improvement. The first few nights in the house, Alice had woken the whole neighborhood screaming. From the kitchen wafted the sound of a soft weeping. He followed and was greeted by an unexpected sight. His tiny daughter, dressed in her nightgown, standing in front of the open basement door. She just stood there, looking down into the basement, quietly sobbing. He thought it strange she had not put on the light, and even stranger that she would stand in front of the scariest place in the house, alone in the dark. He approached her, and put his hand on her shoulder, and gently suggested, "Let's go back to bed, honey." Without looking or acknowledging him, she slowly lifted her arm and pointed down into the basement. Had she thought she heard something? Was that why she was up? He let his eyes follow her finger into the blackness. Softly, comfortingly, he said, "There's nothing down there, honey. Let's go back to bed." Without even looking at him, she continued to sob and point. Something felt wrong, but he had to put a stop to this behavior. She needed to feel safe in her new home, and to put away all these childish fears. Explanations hadn't worked. Now he had to show her. He stepped down onto the first creaking wooden step, leaned forward, and flipped the light switch. The illumination shocked his eyes, but fortified his resolve as he heavily strolled down to the very bottom of the stairs. With confidence in his voice, he looked about and proclaimed, "Nothing down here, honey. I don't know what you heard, but..." Silently and abruptly, the light went out. Terror struck. He looked back up the stairs. There his daughter stood, silhouettely, no longer pointing, but standing motionless. Eyes wide, he watched the door, as though swung by a powerful unseen hand, swung shut, leaving him in the most utter of darkness. He bounded up the stairs once, twice, stopped, and reached forward for the knob and to escape. He reached, but his hands found nothing. He swung wildly at the wall for the switch, but found only smooth, bare wall. Gingerly, he stepped forward and continued to reach. Surely the door must be close enough to feel by now. Slowly, he took another step, his hands blindly groping into nothingness ahead, and his feet constantly misjudging the next step. One more step, two more, 3, 4. He climbed, and his speed and panic increased. It had already been at least several floors worth of stairs. How was this possible? Maybe he should try to go back down. It would be easier. Remembering that the basement stairs ran under his own bedroom, he cried for his wife. "Vanessa! Vanessa!" His voice seemed unusually loud, as if in a confined space, and echoed back towards him from below. "Essa! Essa! Essa!" The echo pushed him beyond attempting to rationalize this insanity and settle any contemplation about going down. No, going down into inky, echoing nothingness seemed like a very bad idea. Better to go up into inky, silent nothingness. Cautiously, sightlessly, he resumed his climb, feeling ahead into nothing with his outstretched hands. So many stairs, and his legs ached. He turned and sat on the step alone. He felt a solitude more complete than he had ever known. Darkness, desperation, and despondency mixed in his soul as his tears began to flow. What was that? He sat bolt upright and held his breath. Was that a sound? He strained his ears, but only perceived the pounding of his own veins. Then, distinctly, slightly, Maybe like a scrape or a whisper, or just shifting of the air. Sound seemed to echo from below. Adrenaline poured into his veins and overrode his fatigue. He rose and hastily dashed up the stairs. Several times he tripped and battered himself on the steps. But he rose and charged on. Yes, he was sure now. At first barely audible, but rising steadily and a roaring, whirling white noise. It seemed to be all around him, engulfing him, drowning out all other sounds and scents. Blindly his sense overwhelmed his frankly sprinted up until, falling impact, pain, rolling, hurting, breaking. It was late the next morning when Vanessa finally awoke. She wrapped herself in her terry cloth bathrobe and made her way towards the kitchen. As she passed Alice's room, her maternal instincts led her to open the door a crack and check in. Her mind was not awake enough to realize the incongruity of the child's room, dark with all shades drawn, and the closet door, in front of which Alice sat, wide open. "Morning, honey." No response. "What are you doing? Do you know where Daddy is?" With an uncharacteristically serious expression, Alice slowly turned her head and responded in her tiny voice. "Talking to my friend." Alright. Well, I do hope you enjoyed. That was Stairs. Again, the author will be in the description. I have to say, it's a pretty good story. It's pretty good. I like it. So, I want to ask, do you guys want me to set up a schedule for times I'm going to be reading stories and when I should be doing games or what? Like tomorrow I was thinking of doing a gaming type of video, but if that's not what you guys want, that would be okay with me. Just leave it down in the comments. But yeah, just give me advice on whether I should make a schedule or something. I was thinking maybe weekends I upload either one game or one creepypasta, and then on weekdays I do that, and on weekends I upload both or two of one. You know, just depending on what you guys would want. But yeah, other than that, please comment on your thoughts again on how I'm reading, if you guys like the way I'm reading and stuff, and the idea about the schedule. And then make sure you guys do subscribe so you can join the pack and not miss any of my videos. Other than that, peace.